you so much. Thank you so much to be with us today. Peace be upon you all. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. And I'm delighted to be with you today. And it's my pleasure to welcome you all for this meaningful and hopeful meeting will be great leaders from the Holy Land. My name is Abdel Salam Manasra from Rising Tide, Florida, and the International Programs Director of the Abrahamic Reunion. I will just start with one announcement for anybody who needed translations. We have two channels. If you can go to the interpretation, there is 3 dots down there on the bar, so you can choose from there what channel you want to go to, because we have speakers in Arabic, we have speakers in English, so please just choose your channel if you want to understand everybody. So you are welcome. Coexistence is a critical principle for a modern human life. Pluralism is the essence of societies and the core of civilizations. Diversity is the natural necessity for finding ways to live together in safety and respect. This requires a significant effort and responsibility on the part of leaders in all societies to ensure that society does not fragment into warring factions and that conflict does not spread like a wildfire. Unfortunately, this is what our region in the Middle East has been witnessing for years. For this reason, our association has been dedicated for over 20 years to studying society in the Holy Land in all its dimensions in order to build bridges of communication, foster intercultural understanding, and uphold and preserve pluralism through the development of specialized programs in dialogue in all its dimensions for all segments of society, led by a team of experts in this field with many years of experience. Today we are gathered to affirm that hope remains alive and that the future depends on each and every one of us working together to rebuild our society funded on human-centered values and constructive coexistence. As the poet said, if the people one day desire life, destiny must respond. وإذا الشعب يوما أراد الحياة فلا بد أن يستجيب القدر. And for destiny to respond, we must first find a practical answers to one of the most pressing questions of our time. What is our role and responsibility as the leaders of society in understanding others, recognizing the importance of a mutual dialogue and building an inclusive society based on equality, pluralism, and respect for others to bridge all the gaps that led to conflict. Welcome to a gathering that carries hope and presents truth that extremists have long tried to obscure. Love still exists and peace is a reality. How could it not be with it is one of the names of God? The paths that connect hearts are many, even if they are marred by imperfections. I invite you to listen with a compassion, to open your hearts and to listen to one another, even we disagreed. All the speakers have given their all and continue to strive to elevate society to the nobility that God intended for us. And we hope will be the beginning of sustainable monthly dialogue program. You are more than welcome. I will invite dear Shahabuddin Davidless, the co-founder and the U.S. co-chair of the Abrahamic Reunion. Dear Davidless, dear Shahabuddin, you're welcome. Please, everybody else, put mute. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Abed. Thank you all for being here. This is quite a memorable moment. We've been working for peace for decades, many, many years. And why do we not have it? Why this insistent need to say, I am right and you are wrong? I know better than you. Do what I say because God spoke to me. Well, God speaks to every human being, but very few listen. The voice of the soul is always there, but the ears get covered with ego. Religion was given to humanity and is given to humanity to bring people together, not to tear people apart. So we now have a global civilization. We've never had that before, and we don't know how to do it. We're still learning. And if we take this gift of God, which is all the religions, and use that as a force for destruction, where will we end up? This incredible invitation from the infinite oneness to come together, to use our cultures to enhance each other, not to limit each other, not to fight with each other, not to kill each other. So what really stands in the way? What stands in the way is when we listen with just the brain and not the heart. Everyone knows there is one God. There is only the eternal oneness. There is only one being. Nothing exists except God. So how did it come to this? What happened? Well, the individual began to be more important than the truth. What I want began to be more important than the truth. Love was taken out of religion, and permission was given to destroy each other. I had a wonderful mentor in Israel, a man named Elias Jabor, a dear friend and a holy soul. And he used to say to me all the time, how did this end up like just another football match with one religion fighting another? Where will it end? And I said, I don't know. But I do know that every human being, from the best to the darkest, knows the truth in their heart. And what we can do with dialogue, what we can do in the midst of violence, is reach out to the other with our heart, with our meditation, with our prayers. And God willing, inshallah, the reality will emerge. And we will recognize that if I kill the other, I am killing myself. Thank you.
Thank you so much, dear brother, for your deep and beautiful and wonderful words. Thank you so much. So now we will invite Sheikh Ghassan Manasra, the International Director of the Abrahamic Reunion. Sheikh Ghassan, you're welcome.
Thank you so much, Abed. Thank you very much, Shahabuddin, for these great and deep words that you gave us. Not spoke to us, gave us. It's a gift. It's a gift. A very fresh words will get out of your heart, will enter to the other sides of the heart. The second part of this world. I want to say something. Listen, I'm so happy because most of my friends, most of my colleagues, partners, teachers, they are here. I count all of you as a teachers because you taught me all the time. In one letter, even you are my teachers. Listen, when I was young, my grandmother, she is a great fallaha, baladis. She said to me, Ghassan, if you walk up every morning and you'll smell a rose, directly the sky will open and any supplication you'll do, God will answer that. And since that time, every morning, I smell the rose and I ask very important question, God, protect and keep all of the people all around the world as a very lightning, very great people. The problem in our time is when you'll try to be human, you cannot. I'm sorry to say that. You cannot. When you'll try to say the truth, they understand you say the truth, but no one listen to you. And when you'll ask many people, they turn their back to you. Not as Ghassan, as a human being to all of these people. That one person say lie all of the time. To all of the people, they will believe you. I will say lie all of the time. To all of the people, you'll lose yourself. No, the people know the truth, and the people know everything you are doing, and what is your direction. Listen, something happening in the Middle East now, especially in the Holy Land, something changing there. I hope it will be for the best, not better, for the best. I hope we will have a new leadership, will take care for all of the people there. Any nation say that I'm the supreme nation, they are not. They have lots of many things less than the other. Then they say that, even if it's Judaism, Islam, Christianity, any religion in this world, because all of us, we are equal. We are the same. We are very important people, and we came here to say that. Now we will hear what part of the great leaders in Israel will tell us now. We have part of them. I will not talk a lot. As usual, I'll talk only 1 hour. Oh, it's a joke. Don't worry. Don't. No. I will say I love you all, and we will continue our path as we promised. We will not stop. We will not stop. We will continue.
Thank you so much.
Abed, thank you, Yaba.
Thank you so much, dear Sheikh, and for your wonderful words. Thank you so much. Women's are the cornerstone upon which society is built. They are our mothers, wives, and sisters. They are the vessel, nurturing, and love that gives birth to generation destined to build the great societies and civilization. I invite Ms. Ghadir Hani to speak to us about how women, particularly in the Middle East and the Arab-Israeli community, can be part of the change and promote dialogue in the midst of the ongoing conflict. Ms. Ghadir Hani, you are more than welcome. أهلا وسهلا.
شكرا عبد. بدي أشكركم
Thank you, Abed.
قوي.
I want to thank you all for having me for the invitation.
نكون بهيك لقاء اليوم
I'm very
لقاء مع نساء.
inspired to be
أنا
such
موجودة
a meeting
بإسرائيل
among the women. I'm in Lod now with women who have been together, Arabs and Jews, Israelis, Palestinians, led by two religious women also. We're able to build a community and work with. Been hearing responses. According to me, I do believe in our ability to be part of society. Unfortunately, we Palestinians have been dismissed from our role in peace building, and even less women are existing in policy making decisions or places or positions. And I believe we should be more in policy making positions as women. Today I see the civil society, many women are true leaders, powerful. They also lead dialogue. One of the initiatives I did among one of my partners, the Arab-Israeli initiative, we were speaking how women do not exist, are dismissed as if not really present, though many women believe in the leadership of women who can lead such movements. Dialogue. We've heard wonderful stories. We've created a book at the end, loads of success stories. As women today, I believe post October 7th, I believe if we really engage in negotiations, we will have such amazing, immense change in 2-3 months. And we put all of our efforts to be part of the voting system, and we're asking and having to asking for 50% of women to be voted for, to be part of policymaking. Also Palestinians from the West Bank and also from Israel, and which speaks that women make peace, wage peace, as for our future children, generations, and to be in place of decision-making power. We work as women today, as Palestinians, to become a bridge to the conflict, towards ending the conflict among the Israeli society, Palestinian society, and elections are coming up. We hope that we'll be part to build the future generation. I do represent a lot of people who see that there is a lack of connection, lack of cooperation in Jews and Arabs, Israelis and Palestinians, elections and work and political work, and the revolution against violence and crime. And it is very crucial for us to be part of this resistance and solidarity and this resilience against crime and against all of those issues in society, to create a change, not only here in the Holy Land, but in the whole Middle East, all over the world. As they're speaking about the war now as coming back, we believe that we can prevent war from coming back as we resist together and demand that we don't want war. And speaking of coexistence, solidarity as men and women together.
أخت غدير لكلماتك الرائعة. Thank you so much for your wonderful and beautiful words that touched us all. I have to just remind everyone, please remain to stay in your time. Thank you to dear Ghadir. She's saying here time frame. And please, and another question, please, just speak slowly so the translator can follow you. Thank you so much. Unfortunately, Mar Abraham Burg, the former head of the Kenesset, was supposed to be with us today, but unfortunately, circumstances that prevented him from coming. He sent his regards and wish you success in all your efforts toward dialogue and true peace. He has sent us a recorded video, so please let us listen to it.
Peace on you all. I'm so sorry I cannot be with you this evening. I wanted so much to be with you, but unfortunately, my wife doesn't feel well and I have to be with her all night long next to her bed at hospital. So excuse me, and we shall meet next time under happier circumstances. I wanted to share with you my admiration to your devotion and commitment and involvement, because it is not natural. It is much more common, let's put it like this, to have a war. You don't need anybody for a war. You simply declare it. You are aggressive, you unload, you attack, you abuse, you brutalize. You can do it all alone. In order to make peace, you need at least one partner. It takes two for peace. And two for peace means that nobody can do it alone, neither Jews nor Palestinians, neither Israelis nor Muslims or Christians or any other faith that we have around. We have to cooperate. We have to overcome differences. We have to build bridges over controversies. Will we prevail? Is it possible to do it? My answer is definitely yes. I think that the human nature is basically a good one, a loving one, a one who wants to have better life. Yes, we were abducted. Yes, there are people who try to dominate our life with their aggression and violence and malicious nature. But all in all, by the end of the day, I hope before the end of the days, yes, our vision will prevail, because our children deserve a better future than our present. They deserve a better world than the one we are actually living through. So with our hopes and inspiration and their motivation and future, it will be possible. Between the parents and children, between the present and the future, one day we shall shake hands and we'll say, we have peace. Peace on the land, peace on the people, peace on the world, peace on us all. Thank you very much, dears.
It was so beautiful and optimistic word. And this is what we want, actually, a real leaders who can make change. So it was really, and we thank him so much and we pray for his wife for fast recovery. The announcement that a new political coalition has formed and will participate in the upcoming elections, one that includes the core components of Israeli society. This is considered a practical step toward equality and the recognition of pluralism. I invite Mr. Muhammad Kanaan, former Kenesset member and chairman of the Arab Nationalist Party, to tell us how this coalition can contribute to ending the conflict based on religious and ethnic grounds, support initiative for dialogue and build bridges of communication. سيد وأخونا محمد حسن كنعان فلتتفضل.
First,
أولا
greetings to all
تحياتي لجميع
the participants and those who are preparing and organizing this wonderful meeting that is bringing all people together from all different backgrounds of society, locally and internationally. This assures the importance of dialogue between all religions, faith, backgrounds, denominations, and political affiliations. And today here we are inside the state of Israel. We are not necessarily more people as speaking of the Arabs inside Israel, but those of us inside this state who are more moral, we would ask people, we believe to unite together. And to the people of Israel, Arabs and Jews, believing in coexistence and cooperation of Arabs and Israelis, Palestinians, and Jews, especially during this difficult circumstance. The Jew and the Palestinian in general, inside and outside the green line and outside the green line, and the dialogue between Arabs, Israelis, and Palestinians among those two peoples believes to restore peace all over the Middle East and in this country, because we're fed up of wars, that kind of bloodshed that keeps going and happening through racism and especially the fascism, racism of the current Israeli government against peacemakers, against people who are calling for coexistence. And that's how Avraham Burg spoke before, my colleague, and many brothers here and participants who believe in the solidarity of Palestinians and Israelis together, that coming together to be part to change the reality of Israeli reality on daily life through all the difficulties and the continuation of wars, and to bring all back to the negotiation table. And so what we believe, the truth will be out and justice will be given, as we believe in the importance in the international legality to bring about Palestine as a state next to Israel as a state, living together, neighbors, as those Palestinians who live inside Israel, and to be able to live and coexist together, and also for Jews to live together with the Arabs. And we want to contribute to change the reality of both peoples, the Jews and the Arabs, because we say enough to death, killing, wars. It is time for dialogue, speaking from heart to heart, from the two leaderships, Palestine, Israel, and the whole area region, can become such a Middle East, different, new Middle East, filled with freedoms, stability, economy, flourishing economy. And this is possible if we can change people such as Smotrich and Ben Gvir in the government of this current government of Israel, those failures, those failing figures who are haters of Arabs, and they hate even Israelis who call for peace between the two peoples. So whatever the price is, we continue, Arabs and Jews, to create a different reality, to have both peoples within Israel and the whole region, and to work with all of our strength, Arabs and Jews, regardless of our different backgrounds, and Christians and Druze and Arabs. As Arabs, we believe in the dialogue among Arabs and Jews and solidarity to create a different reality in the state of Israel. After 78 years of the establishment of the state, our initiative is new of its type, and it's called the Arab Jewish Affiliation of Solidarity. We have three different layers, and collaborations as Arabs and Jews stand together in this affiliation and to create something newly in the Kenesset and the legislative body of Israel and the political body.
صحيح وأشكرك جزيلا الشكر أخونا وأستاذنا السيد محمد حسن كنعان. Thank you so much, dear Muhammad Hassan Kanaan, for your hopeful, that gives hope, supportive words that you give us today. Blessed are the peacemakers. Jesus Christ, peace be upon him, has a profound impact on the hearts of billions of believers worldwide and is considered by them as the greatest symbol of peace. His teachings have touched the hearts of people with the peace that passed all understanding. Being a Christian clergyman in the land where Jesus was born means you are an example and representative who bears the responsibility of spreading love and peace just as he did. We invite Deacon Jiries Mansour, inspector of private schools in the Holy Land, to speak to us about the importance of dialogue and intercultural understanding for raising new generations who can build flourishing future. عزيزي السيد الشماس فلتتفضل.
يعطيكم العافية.
أنا I'm very honored to be with you today
إني أكون
in a special
اليوم
meeting,
معكم بهذا اللقاء
and it's not
المميز. ومش بالصدفة
I'm in the
بس
lake
ربنا رتب
of
إنه
Galilee. It's the lake
الساعة هاي
of
أنا أكون
Galilee of Nations,
ببحيرة الجليل
and it's
بحيرة الأمم.
along the ascension time where Jesus ascended to heaven, and
صعود
the
السيد
special
المسيح
time
إلى السماء.
when I say first
فهذا كمان يوم مميز. أول شيء
we
بحب
love
أقول
peace and believe in
إحنا
peace.
كناس
It is
بنحب السلام
grace from
ونؤمن
God.
بالسلام. هاي نعمة من نعم ربنا. بدي أشكر شهاب الدين، بدي أشكر كل العاملين
Those who work with us, the
جميع
sheikhs, the
المشايخ
rabbis,
والأئمة
and
اللي معنا
seculars, everybody.
الربانيم
We cannot do
رجال الدين
everything
كلهم
alone
كمان
or anything
علمانيين،
alone
لأنه إحنا لحالنا
in
ما
this life.
بنقدر نحط
We gotta
هالنور
be
في
family.
هاي
For
الحياة.
this, I want to
لازم
say
نكون أول شيء عائلة.
today about dialogue, building
ومن أجل
peace,
هذا الإشي أنا
and the
حبيت
vision,
أحثكم
future vision,
على الحوار وعلى بناء السلام وعلى
that
الرؤية
we work together
المستقبلية
as the sons
اللي
of
إحنا
Abraham,
بنعمل فيها كأبناء إبراهيم
such as the Abrahamic
ببركة
reunion what we're doing.
كل الإخوة
I
بجمعية
say
أبناء
for those who are
إبراهيم
religious or not,
من إخوة
our
كمان
purpose is
مرات
to build
أيضا
humans,
مشاهدين وغير
humanity.
الشاهدين. الهدف تبعنا هو بناء الإنسان، بناء الإنسان. واحنا بنؤمن انه كل هالاطفال هدول اليوم اللي احنا
And those are people we
بنربيهم على
build
المحبة
or
وعلى
we
السلام
parent
في
based on
عيشة
love and
اليوم اللي
peace on
صار
the
اليوم
Holy Land.
إرهابي للأسف
Everybody is
بمجتمعنا
suffering, unfortunately,
في
from
داخل
violence.
الأراضي المقدسة. الكل بيعاني من العنف، بيعاني من
Everybody is suffering from what we're going through in this
والتجارب اللي عم
season, but when
نمرها.
we're together, we're stronger than
لكن
any storm.
دائما أنا بقول
Very
لما
important
إحنا مع بعض إحنا
to
بنكون أقوى
build
من أي عاصفة.
our
مهم جدا
houses
إنه نربي
on
طلابنا
the
على
rocks,
صخرة
as the Bible said, not
مش على
on
الرمل، لأنه
sand.
لما بتيجي
So
الريح
when we build it
وبتيجي
on
المياه كما حكى
rocks,
الكتاب
which
المقدس،
means loving
إحنا بنكون
others
بانيينه
and
على
loving
صخرة
humans.
وعلى محبة
So I say to
الآخر
all
وعلى محبة الإنسان.
my
وهون
students,
أنا دائما بحكيها لكل طلابنا. ليش بشدد على الشباب وعلى الطلاب وعلى الأطفال؟ لأنه
we
هن اللي
are
حيكونوا
forced
القياديين تبعون مجتمعنا بالمستقبل. إحنا
to
مجبورين
build in them
نزرع
and,
فيهم
and
المحبة،
plant in them peace, dialogue.
مجبورين نزرع فيهم السلام، مجبورين نزرع فيهم الحوار، لأنه
Because dialogue
الحوار
is what reaches
هو
to between
الجسر
the
اللي
two
بوصل بين
angles on
طرف
the
وطرف.
opposite directions and
وقد ما يكون
opposite
في
peoples.
عنا وجهات نظر مختلفة، ولكن إذا الحوار مبني على مهنية ومبني على محبة ومبني على
Then we
احترام
reach our
وكرامة
purpose that
الإنسان،
builds humans
إحنا
who
بنوصل
respect
للهدف.
their
وهذا
human
هدف
fellows.
الإنسان اللي بيحترم أخوه
That's what
الإنسان،
God made us
وهذا اللي
unique
ربنا
in.
ميزنا
He
فيه.
gave us to
إنه
discern between
ميزنا،
evil and
أعطانا
good.
عقل، أعطانا فكر،
But
أعطانا
we
نعرف الشر من
need to
الخير
discern
والخير من
those
الشر.
things.
ولكن لازم نفهم إنه إحنا نميز هاي الأمور. كيف بدي
Learn
بميزها
things
لما
when we are
أديت الأمور
actually
المليحة،
growing
أديت
up
الأمور
based
الصالحة،
on or growing up with
حبيت
those
أولاد،
principles of love and peace.
حبيت على
And
التسامح،
this is where we
حبيت على
build humans
التفاهم.
before rocks.
وهون إحنا عم
And
نقول
from the
لازم نبني
cries
البشر قبل الحجر.
from
ومن هذا ومن صرخة إنسان جدا متألم
person
الأخلاق وأنا
who's
مسؤول اليوم
really responsible for
عن
47,000
حوالي
students
47,000 طالب في داخل
within what
الأراضي
is today
المقدسة، إن كان بشرقي القدس
inside
إن كان
Israel,
داخل البلاد هون. 47,000
Jews,
طالب اللي
Arabs,
فيهم
Muslims,
المسلم
Christians,
واليهودي
Druze,
والمسلم واليهودي
all of our
والمسيحي
students.
والدرزي. فيهم كل طلابنا تحت المدارس الكنسية في الأراضي المقدسة بتستقبل
We
كل
respect
الإنسان.
everybody. We do
نحترم
not
الإنسان كإنسان
distinguish. We do
بدون
not discriminate
تمييز لا
against
باللون
any
ولا
races
بالعرق ولا
or
بالدين،
colors. And God
لأنه
has made
الله
us all
خلق
unique
الإنسان على
and
صورته ومثله،
special and gave us honor,
والله ميز
promoted
الزنا
our
بأعطى
dignity
صورته
to be
وأعطى
equal. And
كرامة،
we want to keep this
فإحنا
dignity
نحافظ على
among our
هالكرامة
brothers and
وعلى
sisters
النعمة اللي
who
أعطانا
are
إياها ربنا.
truly
ومن هون برفع صوتي
having
وبعبر
those
لإخوتي
values,
اللي عن جد هن
to
عندهم
keep their
القيم
voice
هاي
up
والشيم اللي
and
احنا
speak up
بحاجة لها أكثر شيء.
in this jungle,
يرفعوا
unfortunately, that
صوتهم.
we're living in.
إذا احنا
Then we
بدناش
are
نرفع
stamped
صوتنا
upon
بهاي الغابة اللي احنا عايشين فيها،
as
بنصير
against
إن احنا
all
ميؤوسين.
the holy
إذا بدنا
books
الحق
which
والآن
liberates
كل
all
القصص
humanity.
بتقول إنه
And
الحق
thank you
يحرر
all.
الإنسان
I wish this
والحق هو
night
صوت الله.
would be
ويعطيكم ألف عافية،
freedom and letting
واتمنى إنه
go
هالليلة
of
هاي
all
يكون
peace and love to
ليلة
all of our
انطلاق
societies and
محبة
children and
ونور
people around
لجميع
us, because we are in need
عائلاتنا
of
ولجميع
this light
مجتمعنا ولجميع العالم بأسره،
to
لأنه
enlighten
بحاجة
all of our
لهالضوء
purpose
الصغير، هالنور
pathways
هذا، حتى
on
يضوي
life.
كل طرقنا وكل آمالنا ويعطينا الأمل والرجاء. شكرا لكم.
Thank you so much, dear Deacon Jiries. By the way, our brother and father, Deacon Jiries Mansour, he's one of the co-founders of the Abrahamic Reunion. He's one of our leaders. So thank you so much. It was so great and so necessary words. Thank you so much. Amid the prevailing controversy in Israeli society, criticism of certain political parties and the decline in women's representation, a massive social debate and division has emerged. However, society possesses many tremendous female leaders. For example, someone who is a social activist, a peace activist, an expert in history, and manage many successful intercultural dialogue programs. I invite Ms. Noah Kali to speak with us
Malcolm,
about
please switch to the Arabic channel.
the role of women in promoting dialogue from a historical perspective and its impact on the future. Noah Kali, you are more than welcome. The mic is yours. We can't hear you. You are muted.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really ready to talk about the historical role of women, but certainly, if the question at the beginning of this convention was why can't we achieve peace after so long, it's because we are ruled by men. I mean, that's it. Okay. We don't need any other reason for that. And I can see here some of my friends, Miss Radir Hani and Dr. Warda, and all of us are really striving for peace for so long. And I really believe that if we were the leaders of the world, there was peace all over. Okay. But what I do want to talk about is what I really think is now the major problem in bringing peace to this area. I think basically we don't trust each other. It's like when two people are pointing guns at each other, no one will be the first to draw his gun down because he can't trust the other to do the same. And I feel, especially after October 7th, that this is the major problem is we don't trust each other, and each one who wants to like lower the flames, change the topics of education, as beautifully was spoken by Abu Jiries before about education, and listening to the other's narrative. All of these movements, all of these steps are considered as frightening. If we will lower our guards, if we will lower the walls, if we listen to the other's narrative, if we listen to his pain, something terrible will happen to us, because there's no a mutual effort in both sides, and each side thinks that about the other side, and basically really we don't trust each other. And I think what we all need to do is to work a lot on this topic, is trying to do the best to convince each one his own society, okay, to trust, to believe that there are good people on the other side, that there are people who are striving for peace on the other side. And when you really meet people on daily basis, and when me and like Miss Radir Hani, my very, very good friend here, we live very close to each other. We are active together in all kinds of initiatives. And when I can bring that as an example to my students, me being an educator, and when I can bring the story of me and Radir, or when I can bring Radir herself to meet my students, then trust is being gained. And I think this is now our major goal. And each one should work within his own society to make them believe that there is somebody on the other side who wants peace, and to be and not to be afraid to listen to them, to hear the stories, to hear their pain, to hear the narrative, not to be so scared that everything in my identity is going to collapse if I listen to the other. And so this is what I do in my daily life as an educator, as an activist in standing together. We do activities together. We meet people. We sit in the midst of ancient Akko on Friday mornings together, talking with just people walking by about peace. They just see us with our purple shirts of standing together, sitting together, eating knafe, drinking juice, talking about ourselves and talking about peace. We invite people, please join us. Many times they disagree with us, but they sit with us and they just see us together. And they see that we can listen to their arguments, and we are not afraid of their mistrust, and we are not afraid of their disbelief in peace. We are just listening to them, and it makes, I believe it makes a huge difference. And the last thing I want to say, there's this beautiful book by an author, Yair Ben David. It's called Optimism as a Moral Choice. And Yair Ben David, he lost his brother in the war in October 7th. And as a debrief brother, he made this research, and he wrote this book to say, and he brings all kinds of examples from history and sociology and anthropology and all of that to show that choosing optimism is a moral choice, that to be an optimistic is not only about what you do for your own soul, is the effect on the entire society is great. And so, and he also says, once I heard from another person, one beautiful thing he said, and I tell it to my students like daily, that everything starts with a dream. A long time ago, in 1,000 years ago, people looked at the sky, they saw the birds flying, and they said, oh, we want to fly like the birds. And wow, we do it now. I mean, we invented planes and we can fly. So it always starts with a dream, and we must keep on dreaming of peace. And by keep on dreaming, we can achieve it. That's it.
Wow. This is amazing. It was really amazing. And I hope, I am always say that I hope to learn how to disagree. We don't need to agree for everything. We should learn only how to disagree only. And what I can say, except that you are right. Yeah, reality. The men's, they are the problems in this world. So we need you to teach us and to control us.
نوعا نشيطة جدا بقضية التعايش العربي اليهودي، وهي نشيطة في منطقة الجليل الغربي.
Yes.
يعني أنا بحييها بكل احترام لإلها.
Thank you, Muhammad. Thank you.
Yes. We sharing each one bios in the chat. Yes. Just to save a little bit time. So, and now, unfortunately, Mar Avishaked, he will not be with us today too. He have an emergent flight to Europe. We understand that the situation right now also in Israel, in all dimensions, is not stable. Everything in chaos right now, especially the Kenesset was dissolved today, this morning. But he sent the video, and we hope also you can listen to.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Avi Shaked, and I am delighted to attend this seminar and to give you my view about the issues that are being presented. From my point of view, the introduction of a new party, Israeli Arabs, is the solution. What we are doing today is giving the chance to peace, giving a chance to put together Jewish, Arab, Muslim, all the nations, all the religions, everyone that believes in something, we respect it. And the idea is to put this together with the economic situation. Economic means to give each person the ability to make a living. And with our approach to the conflict, we are giving hope. We are giving our experience to show what Jewish and Arab can do together, what climax we can climb on. And this is the future. The future is putting together Jewish, Muslims, and Christians. All the religions in the world will meet together in this climax. I would like that you will close your eyes for 2 seconds and take the imagination, take you to the hope, take you to the future, take you to the belief that we can do it, that we can deliver it. And this is exactly why we are working so hard, day and night, to give this union, to give this united, to give this two parties, to give the Jewish, Muslim, and Christian the ability to stand together in the next government in Israel. Without being in the government, we will not be able to give any chance to those people who are looking for the change. Therefore, what I'm asking you is to give the chance to the Jewish Arab Party. I know that this is not a political seminar, but as a political person, I can't hold myself from bringing this hope, from bringing this future. Please join me, together me and my partner Dwarim Wich from Tamra in the Galilee. We are doing at the last 2 years whatever we can to put together those two religions. And all the rabbis, all the sheikhs, all the priests, we are bringing all of them the message that we can do it, that we can give every person to keep his belief and to join the nation and to join the country. Together, we will bring the chance. Together, we will withdraw to 67 line and we will bring peace to the region. Together, we will succeed. Thank you so much.
Inshallah, inshallah, we hope, and we thank him so much for his beautiful words. Expressing one's opinion is an integral part of being a human, as long as it does not harm others. Attempting to restrict opinions and speech through arbitrary discussions causes grave harm to the society, individual rights, and personal freedom. I invite Ms. Warda Sada to speak to us about how dialogue can lead to respect for one's own opinion and that of others, and how we can disagree without infringing upon the rights of others, but instead while building bridges. Dr. Warda, ahlan wa sahlan. The mic is yours.
Hello, everyone, dear distinguished guests, respected colleagues, and dear friends. Thank you for having me, and I'm very pleased to see you all listening and wondering what we can do and what we can promote to achieve peace. I am here with you today not only as an educator. I used to be 28 years educator, lecturer. Later, I will speak about my experience in that field. So as an educator, as an activist, and a politician, but mainly I'm here as a Palestinian citizen of Israel, someone who lives between two worlds, carrying both the Israeli and Palestinian realities, with all their pain, complicity, and hope. Living between these two experiences is not easy. Maybe Ghadir, maybe Hassan, Muhamad, Hassan, Kanaan, and Abuna all speaks about that their experiences and how they want to change. But I always think that experiencing the narratives, the different narratives, especially as Palestinians, and the identities and the emotions here in Israel, for me, for Ghadir, for Abuna, for Muhammad Kanaan, who are Palestinians inside Israel. They are full citizen in Israel. But it gives us also not only that we experience that differently, but also giving us a unique responsibility, the ability to understand complicity, build bridges, and insist on dialogue even during times of fear and division. And we have experienced a lot of fear and division during the last 2 years, 3 years, and also before that. Through my work in education and social activism, I have learned that societies are not weakened only by political conflict, but also when people stop seeing each other humanity. Fear replaces understanding. Stereotypes replaces real encounters, and science deepens separation. So this is why correcting society is not only a political task, it is an educational and moral one. As the previous speaker said, and that in education we shape values, critical thinking, and the ability to respect differences. And as activists, we must not only challenge injustice and extremism, but also create spaces for dialogue, for dignity, and for cooperation, what Noah, Ghadir, and others spoke about. So understanding both the fears within Israeli society and the pain and the historical memory of the Palestinian people, and also what is going on inside Israel, helps us more create a space of having the real narrative that we want to create. So it's better than denying the complicity. Rather than denying the complicity, we must also use to humanize both sides, and sorry. I hear, the Quran now, it's inside my ears. Maybe you don't hear it now. It's the time of pray, the Muslim pray. So it's a little bit, I'll give them some respect. So what I meant that when we are speaking about healthy society, it's not one without differences, but one that knows how to live with differences through equality, mutual respect, and shared responsibility. What Abed also speak that he wants to learn about how to understand the differences and how to live the differences in respect. So today, many people feel fear, anger, and hopelessness. Yet, I still believe that societies can heal when people choose dialogue over hatred and humanity over division. Correcting society begins in our schools, holy places, communities, public discourse, and daily actions. It begins when we stop asking how to defeat one another and start asking how to build a future where all people can live with dignity, equality, and hope. I am also a co-leader in All of Citizen Party that emphasizes the rights of all citizens in Israel, that Abraham Burg also co-leader, and we have coalition with Mr. Hassan, with Mr. Muhammad Hassan Kanaan, and now we are trying to make other coalition with other parties, and all of these parties also emphasize the role of affecting the politician public narrative. So I believe that the politician speech is not only a way of communication policies, it is one of the strongest tools that for shaping how society understands reality itself. Political speeches help create the public narrative, the stories, emotions, values, and language through which people interpret events, identity, fear, hope, and the future. So the speech can change the public narrative in several important ways, defining who we are. Political leaders influence how people see themselves and others. They can also they can also speak about, the speech can deepen the division us versus them, or build a broader shared identity, all citizens together. So this is what I think that leaders repeatedly must use inclusive, must use the language, and they slowly normalize coexistence and partnership and mutual responsibility. So narratives are built through repetition, naming problems differently, and the way a leader frames and an issue changes the public perceptions. So thank you very much for having this opportunity to speak about us as educators, as activists, as politicians, and go forward to continue that dialogue.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, dear doctor. It was amazing to hear from you. And we hope, inshallah, to have your coalition become a very strong coalition and to give us all hope. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'm sorry, we're taking a little bit long, so I'm asking, please, the speakers to be short and to be slow so the translator can follow you. Israeli and Palestinian society is rich with a treasure of diversity, whether ethnic or religious, and this reflects the depth of history and civilization enjoyed by the region. Religious leaders have a profound influence on the hearts of society in the Holy Land. I invite Sheikh Hassan Tarif, a religious leader from the Druze community, to speak to us about how his community values tolerance, dialogue, and building bridges of communication amongst the diverse communities in the Holy Land. Sheikh Hassan, you are welcome. أهلا وسهلا. تفضل.
حبيبنا يسلم وشكرا. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Shukran, thank you in the name of the Most High and Most Compassionate, Merciful God. How pleasurable it is representing all spheres and faces of society and different religions of this capital of countries of diversity that promotes forgiveness and humanity and coexistence, coming together to break divisions, fascism and racism, radicalism. And today we renew this hope that lives in our soul. So this, because this place can fit us all, that represents all of our diversity, a world that has hands that could shake hands for love and peace and remove arms and weapons, and that weapons of war would be shut down. A world where new birth of free people and free souls would be birthed, and to be a human in true depth, which is missing in this world, in this time. There is something worth living for in this life. It is enough for somebody to love you to be alive. We are all sons of Adam and we deserve to be living. And everything that the country is facing, war, from destruction, metaphoric, emotional, and more. But we do have this dream called peace. And the enlightenment behind it, despite the cloudiness that covers it, there is no society that can fulfill peace except but to live peace through its morals. We cannot speak about peace without being persecuted through our ideologically and more. There is no society that can live up to peace without having diversity of freedom of speech and criticism. So those who live life that has purpose, those who are filled with the values of justice through our human life, and to put away the cancer that exists in our human life, which is to sanctify egos, and let us keep hope on daily basis, and for reformation, reconciliation, and restoring every twisted and wicked ways and pathways, and to bring about goodness and leniency and resilience, keeping every day as a lesson for them daily. How much we need for such people, my brothers and sisters, in this time, filled with suffering and misery, killing sadness, to have people who would guide us towards forgiveness and peace. This is our hope, brothers and sisters, that we need as people of faith, to stand firm and to look up for the bright future, and coexistence and cooperation and dialogue for a future generation, towards actions and projects. We are in need for a unified stance, call against hands that made war, and for a new way and road. From here we ask God, we stand firm on the values, loyalty, and the clear conscience, and this voice that should clear up our hearts, bring about a ladder that's holy into peace, and peace be upon you, and the holy blessings of God be with you. Thank you, Sheikh, for this wonderful word of hope.
Thank you so much, dear Sheikh. And we wish you and Sheikh Muwaffaq, of course, our leader and friend, so much love.
تسلم حبيبنا، يسلم. شكرا لك للجميع.
We often hear direct accusation against religions in general, claiming they are the main cause of division, the spread of hatred, and the destruction of societies, particularly Islam. Even though religious texts call for love, closeness, and the building of a cohesive, a cohesive coexistence and peaceful society. I invite Dr. Sheikh Khalid Abu Ras to answer this question from an Islamic perspective. Is religion a cause of division or a means of communication? Is religion a cause of destruction of societies or a tool for building civilization? Sheikh Khalid, تفضل. قليلا يعني أبطأ قليلا حتى يستطيع المترجم أن يترجم. تفضل أخي وأستاذي.
Thank you, Abdussalam Manasra, for this introduction. In the name of God, the most merciful and compassionate, blessed is He, mighty, and prayers and peace be upon all messengers and the Prophet Muhammad and all of his relatives and followers, and those who followed his pathway until the end of days. All my brothers and sisters, first I can greet you in the name of Islam, in the name of God, the most merciful and compassionate. Let me thank those who are organizing this convention, seminar, as we are going and living through difficult times and difficult circumstance, and that makes our everything we say is very sensitive. We live in very big challenges that requires of us very accurate responsibility and articulate discernment that we have never been faced before. Let me address the question that was addressed to me by the brother and the beloved Sheikh Abdul Hamid Abdsalam Manasra, sorry. Was religion is a cause for hatred, division, and violence that spread in the world. I do know from my life, as I have partnered Sheikh, Sufist Sheikh Muhammed Hashim al-Baghdadi, and then I was discipled by the Sheikh Sufist Sheikh Manasra, and also Sheikh Ghassan Manasra. I was discipled by both, and today I become, or in 1 month I become 50 years old. I've never seen, I've never watched and experienced an Islamic religion about any principle or approach that promotes violence, hatred, killing, bloodshed. Rather, whatever I've read, as Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he came to Medina, which is from Mecca. He went to Medina in Saudi Arabia today. He was kicked out or went there by force or unjustly. What did he say? He didn't say, oh, kill others or take revenge, but he said, oh people, spread peace, feed those who are hungry, and pray at night when people are sleeping, so that you may enter paradise peacefully. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, if you meditate on this hadith or saying, holy saying by the Prophet, that he was actually connecting what this feeding the poor and being in intermarriage and building peace is connected and interconnected. He didn't say, oh, destroy societies, hate others, attack them. Rather, he invited them to love and cooperation, coexistence. Oh, brothers and sisters, God speaks in the Quran, O people, we have created you as males and females, and we have made you nations to get to know each other. And the original essence in relationship is communication, is not division, is not dismissive, is not. Oh, brothers and sisters, I want to invite you to meditate on the life of a bee, which is a very small creature. And it goes out and goes around mountains everywhere. And this bee has a lot of water elements. And what happens? And what happens after is honey. Honey comes out. And then comes healing. In the bees or Surat bees is where is written and eat from all things that God have made, and then it will come out a liquid that has healing to people. This is a miracle for people who have been thinking. This is a verse in the Quran. I'm translating it, paraphrasing it simply. There wasn't a fear-based approach in Islam at the time, especially when difference existed. It was actually difference invited us to understand one another better, deeper, higher. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question about the reason of hatred was it ever religion, but rather the injustice of humans towards their fellow humans, and greed, abuse of religion, politics, ethnicity for their own benefits. If it were religion, if it were is the reason of wars, then how can we interpret First World War, Second World War? Was it really the reason is religion? No, millions have lost their lives in those wars. Was it really the reasons were the wars? Not really. For example, Second World War, it was against Nazism, fascism. It was ideologies based on discrimination, prejudice, and the dismissal of others. And this proves that the true danger is not in religion, but in radical and fascist thinking, and the absence of morality and absence of mercy, conscience. Then they can do extreme and severe crimes, even if they live in the highest positions of socioeconomic livelihoods. True religion does not make or create conceited-hearted people, rather humble, meek, who feels the pain and the suffering of others, and who hears and sees in others as a brother to them in humanity. When religion is understood, it becomes a bridge and a school of morality and a source and a spring of mercies. And history proves that civilization, Islamic civilization, was not based upon or on the sword, but rather on education, intellect, philosophy, translation, medicine, astrology, coexistence among different peoples, cultures, and religions. And Christians, Muslims, and Jews lived together in all over Islamic civilization for many generations and centuries, living, interacting actively, beautifully, and mosques and churches and universities all lived together among each other, coexisted when true religious principles came together. And as a Muslim person, and lived as a Muslim person, and lived with Sheikh Abdussalam Manasra, and I call and invite everybody, Muslims, Christians, etc., not to be against religion, but to be against ignorance, radicalism, fascism, hatred, and to restore true message to all religions as they were and still are the light to guide people into goodness, love, and peace. And in my conclusion, I would say all of those who are celebrating Adha, an Islamic Eid, and its meanings is about respecting humans and righteousness of parents and obedience to God, is a school of learning and sacrifice in this Eid, and we learn how to open up our hearts to others and to bless the poor. Happy and joyous, and may God bless you in this time and this Eid, and that you may be closer to God. And thank you for this time together, coming together, and ask God to be a new beginning, to a new sound of peace and love. And may God be with you.
Thank you so much, dear brother, and my teacher, Sheikh Khalid Avraham. Thank you so much, dear doctor. With the last, I'm so sorry, with the last speaker for today. The academia, research, and studies help remove impurities in our thinking, clarify the way we perceive, and strengthen the foundation of community building. I invite Professor Muhammad Hugerat to reveal to us and tell us about the solid foundation for building the leadership program, and to briefly explain details of the program, utmost necessity for changing. Please, Professor Muhammad Hugerat, and briefly, if we can do it in 3 minutes, that will be perfect. Thank you so much. so we can the people ask any question they want.
Okay, thank you everybody. Good evening for this unique meeting, and I think I feel now like that I am in historical moment. بس اسمحوا لي انه احكي باللغه العربيه لانه بدي احكي من القلب.
Spoke everybody a while ago about two major things, and I want to be objective for the future. First, to build trust. It's not easy to build trust, and when we build trust, it's a true big tower that's strong that you can start from. Second, the idea of courage, as Dr. Warda spoke, is very important. Culture, training, education, religion, and the new religion. I want to be honest with you. I want to be honest, and we have to be honest. There is a point in the Israeli society that is about to reach. So before 7th of October does not look like what's post 7th of October. First, I remember two things I want to tell you. When I first started studying in the Hebrew University in Jerusalem, I had a supervisor from the extreme right wing, but we were friends. And he used to visit me at home, and I used to visit him at home. And he was part of the group of professors that are made or focus on patriotic Israelis. But he used to respect me, and I used to respect him, and that was in the 80s. But after a while, in the 90s, and as I was working as a lecturer and researcher and the vice president in Haifa, in college which was called the Arab College in Haifa, and I had to work hard to bring our Jewish brothers, to bring them to teach and learn in those colleges, because I didn't succeed. They used to say, how can we come to an Arab college? Why do we come? How can we come to the Arab college? I have learned, I tell them, in the Hebrew University in Jerusalem. So those two things that are very important. Why? Because when we speak about education, schools are considered centers of change and creating change, but there is this as if distance. And just I'll say quickly from I'll read purpose or goals from towards this meeting we have today, and what I spoke with Sheikh Ghassan and Sheikh Abed and Muhamad Hassan Kanaan. And the purpose of this meeting and the upcoming meetings is to accelerate coexistence and dialogue among the Arab Jewish leadership, and to promote that dialogue, and let us take it and make it into reality, and not just symbols and just banners, but to open up space to speak about different challenges together. And Miss Warda spoke beautifully about that. You do not need to accept what I say and vice versa, but what unifies us or brings us together is same land, same oxygen, same food, same tomatoes, and same places that we go to. Third, encouraging initiatives of solidarity or coexistence or collaboration of both culturally and more. And here I say, in the past, we used to work, as Arab society, we used to work for initiatives, but today we see a lot of dismissive attitude in the Jewish community, like meaning they don't want to connect with us, they don't want to collaborate. Fourth, to enlarge and promote future vision, education, and cultural projects all together. And here I will finish because 3 minutes have already passed. In Israel today, there is a station, TV station, is to encourage right-wing movement and working against anything that's Arab, even if it's left-wing. Why not work for building Arab Jewish TV station? Because media is very strong in, or what decides in Israel, those names in those especially Arutz 14, it's a name of a channel, and they are the ones who decide, and in the end to support the emotional, psychological, and humanitarian sides and spheres who have been faced by destruction or suffering or crisis that happened throughout and still happening, and by trauma, and especially the Jews, and also even more the Arab society, and it's been becoming more divided, the Arabs in particular, rather than becoming a community, it's becoming a group of individuals or divided individuals, and we need to realize this.
Thank you so much, dear Professor. Thank you so much. We can also share with our great participants a proposal of the monthly meeting, so they can see and look closely to the objectives of the monthly meetings. Thank you so much for all your beautiful words. And I think, we passed the time. But if anyone who would like to ask any question, he's more than welcome. And I'm inviting Sheikh Hassan to conclude.
I think our time is over. Any question they can send us by email or can send here. I will not, please, I will invite Shahabuddin to say what he needs to say in the end.
What I need to say is that we need to remember that we all share the same parents. We need to remember that we really are each unique version of the one being of God. We need to remember that the foundation for the future must be love, or we won't be able to continue. We need to remember that the feeling heart is what will bring us peace. Not the intellect, not the mind, not the fear, not the doubt, but the feeling heart. We've heard so many beautiful speeches today. Help us to learn to listen with the ears of love, that we may breathe the breath of love, that we may hope with the hope of love, and that we may remember that we are all sisters and brothers of the same parents. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I would like to, in 1 minute, to say, there's nothing to say. There's no words. There's no letters to build the words. To tell you that we finished, but I want to say that everything you said, all of you, it's come to say, enliven our hope. We need to include our hope. As we say, usually when you are going further, don't look behind you. If you look behind you, you will fall down. Look further and watch your steps very well. And the most important thing, we planted the seeds. Don't say we plant the seed, come to water. Watch your water. What kind of water you need to give to your seeds? Clean water will flourish. All of the seeds here. Thank you. It was so great to be together and to enliven and to bring the hope for the future. This is the first meeting of the 10 meetings. Soon we will see the second, the third, the fourth, and I hope by the second or the third, the world will change. The world will change because the theologians say, are you meaning the essence of your text or your intention to the work? I think our essence and our intentions combining together to bring understanding, connection, loving one another, and continue toward the future for a safe future for ourselves, our children. Thank you so much. Love you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Much love to you. See you next month. Bye-bye.